How's it going, y'all? Today we are going to learn a trick called the backdrop, sometimes colloquially referred to as the waterfall. It happens off of right shoulder arms or left shoulder arms. Looks like this guy here. Probably one of the most classic armed drill team maneuvers. It simply involves dropping the rifle down the back with one hand, catching it in the other hand. This is one of the first things that I think I learned when I was first starting out. So it's one of those classics, and it's kind of seeing a resurgence in recent years. So what do we need to do this trick? It starts at right shoulder arms or left shoulder arms. You can do either version, right? You can go either direction. We're going to start at that regulation position. Sometimes you see people come straight to this position. I like to think of this as being two movements. One, a movement up to square the rifle, and we can feel it solidly balancing on the shoulders. And then two, we're moving the hand outward so that the trigger guard clears behind the shoulder. And this is really important because if it doesn't, it could hinder the drop down the back. When we go to release the rifle, we want to have our hand at the small of the back positioned high enough up to make sure that when we grab the rifle and make contact, we can get the rifle in hand somewhere in the vicinity of balance points 1 and 2, and that we can control that rifle by bringing it either to the side or to the front. Now, a couple of helpful things to think about as you're working on this. One, our posture is incredibly important. If we hunch our shoulders forward, it may feel like it's helping us because it's going to give the rifle a surface to roll off of, but really what's going to happen is it's going to roll down our shoulders and shoot off away from our hand. When we do that, we put our hand further away from the path of the rifle. So we want to stand up nice and tall, pull those shoulder blades together, again getting this trigger guard behind the outside of our shoulder so that the drop happens straight down the back. To really help us, we're going to try to keep that hand pinned by the side until the very last second when it has to come up to grab the rifle. We can obviously start by learning with our hand waiting for it, and then as soon as our hand releases from this side, we want to make sure that we pin it down by our side so it looks nice and sharp. Pretty simple maneuver, but it's going to take some practice to kind of figure out that sweet spot. You may need to adjust where you place the rifle. Maybe you need to move it slightly to the left or to the right. Maybe you need to feel the balance on the shoulder initially a little bit different. Take your time and experiment and find the most comfortable place for that rifle to drop down the back, straighten your hand, and then you have your backdrop or waterfall.